Hello, Louisa Jewell here with your weekly juice. Last week I talked about procrastination, and I also talked about how perfectionism can lead to more procrastination. So I want to talk about perfectionism today because it is a real issue, and it's more of an issue for women than it is for men. So I read a piece of research that showed that young women want to be perfect in 14 different domains of their lives, whereas men want to be perfect in a few different domains in their lives. Now think about trying to be perfect in 14 different domains of your life. It's impossible. You're going to be exhausted, and you are also always going to feel that you are never good enough. And if you fail at something, that you need to feel bad about yourself because you're just not measuring up to someone else's standard. And a lot of perfectionism is this idea that we need to, accomplish in a way, or we need to show up in a way that meets other people's standards. And so if we can let go of this idea that we don't need to meet other people's standards, that we can set our own standards. It's okay to want to strive to be excellent, to say, I have this standard and I want to meet it. That's okay. But when we have 14 different areas of our lives where we need to meet someone else's standard and have that external validation, we are just setting ourselves up to feel terrible about ourselves. And again, this idea that we are never enough and never enough. So one of the greatest tools that I created in my book, Wire Your Brain for Confidence, The Science of Conquering Self-Doubt, was a tool called Peace at 6. And here's how it goes. So, take a look. I want you to write down all of the different domains in your life that you kind of focus in on. Like for me, for example, I like to focus in on daily exercise and eating well. So living healthy and having good relationships with my friends and my family and romantic relationships and, work and what I'm doing at work and my volunteer work. So I have many different domains in my life that are important to me. Now, if I again have to focus on being perfect or a 10 out of 10 on all of those, I'm really going to be exhausted. So instead, I decide on 3 domains that are important to me in my life. So I choose 3 of those domains, and I decide that I'm going to strive to be a 10 out of 10 on those. I'm not going to force myself to be a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to be disappointed if I'm not a 10 out of 10. I'm just going to be really happy and put energy into striving to be a 10 out of 10 in those domains. And then for the other domains, I'm going to put them at a 6. I'm going to say that I will be peaceful if I'm 6 out of 10 in those domains. Like housework is one of them for me, right? I'm going to be peaceful if I'm a 6 out of 10 on housework. And when people come over, I'm not going to sweat it out if people come over and see a mess in my place like I used to. And I used to go crazy cleaning up before people came over. I don't do that anymore because I am peaceful if people see that, in my housework, in the domain of housework, that I'm only a 6. And that's okay with me. I don't need to be perfect at housework. Again, I used to really stress about that, and I really just don't anymore because I feel good about myself where I am. I feel good enough, and I feel good enough and feel that I can strive in those 3 areas that I'm really focused in on, like my health and my relationships and the work that I'm doing in the world. Those are the 3 things that I really focus in on, and with everything else, I'm okay being at a 6. In fact, I'm peaceful. So I hope that helps. I'm going to put more information below on how you can practice peace at 6. So I'm going to peace out. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.